Hello everyone and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday, July 17th, 2017. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember everyone that you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live on Facebook Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time. That's 7 p.m. on the West Coast and 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Nathan, how are you doing today?
I got off work early because I had comp time and I didn't take a lunch, so I got off like 2.5 hours early.
Oh, nice.
And I got paid for an entire day, so
Cool.
not bad.
How'd you get comp time?
Friday I stayed an extra hour and a half,
Oh, okay.
which is the only days I can do that.
Cool. What do you guys do after the courthouses close on Fridays?
Just work files because we don't have enough time during the day.
Oh, that's fair. That sucks, but it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you? You have a good weekend?
I mean, it's alright weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound super excited.
I'm not feeling the greatest, but you know.
That's pretty normal for you.
Yeah.
You're normally pretty good at not feeling awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I think it's my everything.
Well, like, I've been, like, super tired the last, like, week, and Jennifer thinks it's because of the weather, so, I don't know, maybe.
Fuck, I'm tired all the time.
Yeah, but that's just your, like, permanent state of existence. I'm not normally that tired all the damn time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, a lot of the times, like, I'd come home, I'd get the energy to, like, do some dishes and then do the show, and then I'd just lay on the couch and pass out.
What the hell is energy?
It's this thing that comes from calories. If you ate more, you might know what it was.
It's fair.
Yeah, I know it is. But otherwise, yeah. Did you do anything exciting this weekend?
I mean, the thing that I did on Sunday.
Yeah. What about Friday and Saturday?
Let's see. Friday, I played D&D.
Fun.
It was pretty good. They had an entire session without combat. They said it was fun, so you know.
And you're DMing, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Saturday, I did a whole lot of nothing.
Fun.
Played a lot of Eternal. That's what I did.
Oh, good job.
Sunday, I played a lot of Eternal and did something really cool.
Fun. All right. Well, shall we get into some news then?
Sure.
Sure. 10. Google Robot Factory raises sterile mosquitoes. Automated device will release 1 million per week.
Submitted by Izumi3682 to our Futurology.
Yep, and it doesn't necessarily say that they're trying to get rid of mosquitoes entirely, just trying to cut down on the number of them there are. So they intend to, this is being done through Verily, which is a branch of Alphabet, which owns Google. And they're
I just realized my tweet never went out.
Oh, well, too bad. Doesn't matter now. It's too late now. They have infected these mosquitoes with a bacteria called Wolbachia. It's harmless to humans, but when they mate...
Wallachia?
No, Wolbachia.
Oh, okay. I thought this was a place.
No. And it's harmless to humans, but if they mate with females, it will cause all of the females' eggs to become unfertile. Infertile.
So Google is taking it into their hands to wipe out mosquitoes from existence?
Well...
The evil geniuses.
It's more of to
Are they going to kill a lot of birds?
No.
Fish?
No. It's harmless to basically everything. It just kills eggs.
Oh.
But the interesting thing, and like the bacteria...
Eventually they'll go extinct.
Well, and most of it seems to be directly targeted towards cutting down on the amount of mosquitoes in specific areas. This one is looking at Fresno right now. But
sure, that's pretty cool.
They also
yeah, but for a little bit, you're going to have an influx of a lot of mosquitoes.
They're all males. Males don't bite.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's only the females that bite. I mean, there'll be a lot of mosquitoes everywhere.
You just assume those mosquitoes is gender.
Yes, Nathan.
Bastard.
And it wasn't necessarily their gender so much as their biological sex.
Hey, that's just 2017. I thought we can get past this.
No, because you are born with a penis or a vagina, just like mosquitoes.
Not all the time.
How many people have ever been born without one or the other?
I don't know. Google it.
You Google it. I don't care.
All right, I will.
Do it, son.
How many people born each year without genitals. How common is intersex? Well, there's a bunch of different kinds of intersex.
Like, wouldn't it be like a horrible mutation if you were born without a penis or a vagina?
Yeah, but it's like, it depends on the kind. If it's not XX and not XY, it's 1 in 1,666 births. If it's Klinefelter, which is XXY, it's 1 in 1,000 births. Androgen insensitive syndrome is 1 in 13,000 births. Partial androgen sensitivity syndrome is 1 in 100,000 or 130,000 births. Classic congenital adrenal hyperplasia is 1 in 13,000 births. Late onset adrenal hyperplasia is 1 in 66 individuals.
You are speaking gibberish to me, sir.
I don't know what any of this is anyways, but it says...
Like, I feel like it'd be more likely, like, wouldn't you just die if you didn't have one or the other? Like, I feel like it's almost more likely to be born with both rather than neither.
You don't just die without your genitals.
Well, I mean, if there's, like, you gotta have a place to pee, don't you?
Yeah, as soon as they see that you're born with no genitals, they're gonna pop a fucking hole in you so that you can piss and shit.
Well, are you saying that you're also born without an asshole?
No, I'm just saying that sometimes...
Are you peeing and shitting out the same hole, Nathan?
I'll just pop a fucking hole in the butt. Which is really unfortunate because, like, I had to get my ass, like, redone. It had a giant crack in it, and it just wouldn't...
Is that a bad joke?
Yeah.
God damn it, you're the worst. Alright, well... Now that I've had to suffer through that, shall we?
9.
Colorado Appeals Court rules scent of marijuana not enough to search a vehicle.
Hey, this is submitted by Relevant Life to Our Politics.
Yep, a gentleman had his car checked by a sniffing dog, and which the cops then wanted to get into his car, and he said no. They went into his car anyway because they had the suspicion based on the entire idea of that his car smelled like marijuana. And it found a pipe that is mostly associated with smoking meth, but he said that his lawyer is arguing that he can't be convicted of that because they would have no way of finding it or had a warrant to get it or anything like that unless they were because marijuana is legal, so just smelling marijuana shouldn't be enough to let someone get into your vehicle.
Sure. No, that's completely reasonable.
Yeah. And so Colorado has said you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Good. I hope other states who have legalized it recreationally follow suit.
We'll get to that point. It's going to take a little while, though.
A little bit. A couple more lawsuits probably, but you know.
Probably. Thrown out cases of legitimate things that should have been taken care of in a more legal fashion.
See, alright, so here's the problem, okay? Especially, like, up here. Unless it's in specific bags from dispensaries, like they're pre-packaging, you cannot have marijuana in like a sandwich bag at all up here because they can't get you for possession, but they can get you with intent to sell, which was not legal. So a lot of times you would have to take your marijuana and put it into another container. And unless it's like a Tupperware or an air-safe container, that thing's going to reek, which means your car is going to reek like weed, transferring it legally.
Right.
So, I mean, they would have just been like, smelled, boom, let's get inside this car. That's fucked up, especially if you're not doing anything wrong.
It is. I mean, it's like people that have gotten pulled over and like charged because they were at a bar and someone spilled alcohol on them. So they spilled.
Or someone who's charged for walking down the street being a black teenage girl.
Well, that's a little bit unrelated, but I understand. But yeah, because I mean, like, you go to an alcohol, you go to an alcohol.
I go to an alcohol every now and then.
You go to an alcohol. No, you go to a bar, and there's a very good chance you're going to leave smelling like alcohol, even if you didn't drink any.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a crowded bar and other people are smelling alcohol on themselves, and then they're like, "Oh, excuse me," and they're like, alcohol, just like that.
Yeah. No, like, if you even remotely don't pass that breathalyzer, you're fucked.
I wonder if you can fail a breathalyzer based on just alcohol, like, fuming off of your clothes.
I want to say Mythbusters did it.
Yeah, did they?
but maybe not fuming off of your clothes.
I thought they myth busted all the ways to try and beat a breathalyzer, like mouthwash, gum, stuff like that.
They've busted a lot of myths, I'll tell you that.
That's true. I don't know though, but interesting either way. Thank you, California, Colorado. Anyway, member of India's lowest caste. Yeah, I will kill you in your sleep. Member of India's lowest caste expected to be elected president.
This is submitted by Gret Nork to Our World News.
India is still separated by caste. Otherwise, basically think of them as like America has like, upper class and lower class and stuff like that. Now imagine if there was an actual division of your entire country based on that, rather than just, the sad little belief that you're not as impoverished as everyone else around you that we have in America. Well, they do have that system in India, and right now it is being looked upon as that Ram Nath Kovind, which is going to be their new president.
That's a fucking mouthful. That's pretty sweet.
Yep,
he's like the lowest class.
He is, and he comes from...
Literally started from the bottom.
He comes from the Dalit community, which are like, the ones that are like looked down upon for being like, sad.
Just them.
Yep. Here's the interesting thing, is India doesn't elect their president. Well, I mean, it's not surprising, I guess. India doesn't elect their president the way we do. Not everyone votes on it. They have, like, all of their officials vote on who becomes president. So nearly 5,000 Indian state and federal members of parliament are the ones that are going to be putting their votes on the ballot for who becomes the next president. And here's the even more interesting thing, is that they each get their own specially designed violent ink pen that has its own serial number to cast their vote. So that their vote can't be, like, you have to cast your vote with that pen for it to be valid, and, like, there can only be one pen vote, whatever you want to call it, so that people can't, like, give fraudulent votes.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Now I'm really curious what these pens look like.
Look up Indian voting pens.
Okay, I'll see if anything pulls up. Indian voting pen. Election ink. Is the first thing that came up. Members of Parliament and MLA are not allowed to carry their own pens.
I can't handle that word, Parliament. Every time it's said, I always want to do something funky.
Yep, special pen with violet ink for lawmakers to vote in president poll. This is from the India News. They don't have a picture of the pen, unfortunately. And it's important because apparently in June of last year, 12 legislators' votes were invalid on the ground that they used the wrong pen.
Weird.
Weird. I just want to see the pen, though.
Maybe it's just the ink. Maybe it looks like a regular pen.
But how would the pen have it, like... It says the pen has its own serial number.
Maybe it's engraved on the side.
Maybe it's written in the ink.
In the ink? Yep. How are you going to write the serial number on a pen?
Dude, they have put a GIF into a piece of DNA and gotten it back out, and it's a GIF of of someone riding a horse.
To picture a pen writing on itself.
No. In the ink is the serial number.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I didn't say that's how it was.
I thought the pen had the serial number.
Yeah, well, according to the way they wrote it, yeah, the pen has its own serial number, but I don't know how the pen, like, unless it has a specific ink that matches that specific pen.
I don't know, that's fucking...
I'm more intrigued by this pen rather than India getting a impoverished president.
Well, I mean, good on him. Literally started from the bottom.
And now we're here.
This is literally a Drake song.
7.
George A. Romero, or Night of the Living Dead creator, dies at 77.
It's submitted by Zombie Socrates to our movie.
That's Socrates. Zombie Socrates.
Yeah, Zombie Socrates.
Socrates. No. This is not Bill and Ted. Stop it.
Why not?
Either way. So George A. Romero has passed away at the age of 77. He died peacefully in his sleep after a short but very fierce battle against lung cancer.
He's a great director.
I don't actually know if I've seen anything that he made.
He's done Night of the Living Dead.
Didn't see it.
Dawn of the Dead.
Didn't see it.
The Crazies.
Haven't even heard of it.
It's really unfortunate.
Well, I mean, I'm a living disappointment for you anyway, so.
Yep. Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, Survival of the Dead.
Nope.
Creep Show.
Not heard of that either.
Martin. Night Riders.
No.
Season of the Witch.
I haven't heard of that either. I don't think I've actually seen anything he's made.
That's alright. He's got 2 of some of my favorite movies under his belt.
Which are?
Well, okay, so I have to give honorable mentions to Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead.
Okay.
Both of them fantastic films.
Okay.
Grade A, 100% on point.
Sure.
However, 2 of my favorite films are The Crazies, the original one, not the remake, though he was an executive producer in the remake, and the remake wasn't bad. But I really like The Crazies because a lot of the cast, like, it was really actually low budget, and a lot of the cast was from the town that they filmed in. A lot of the people in white suits were actually just high schoolers.
Oh, okay.
So I enjoyed that. I also really liked Night Riders, which was great. It was about knights on motorcycles.
Okay.
And it has Tom Savini in it, who is the guy with the cock machine gun from Dusk Till Dawn.
I don't know what that is either.
Well, from Dusk Till Dawn.
I
He was also in Django Unchained, but
I haven't seen that either.
he was a motorcycle rider in Dawn of the Dead as well. But he was a Knight Rider. It's good shit.
Sure. All right.
I feel like you would have seen his face, so I'm gonna keep a bio up so I can remind you later.
Very well.
And then Ed Harris as well. Ed Harris was in Knight Rider.
I know that name. Don't.
He was in The Rock, in The Abyss, and Gravity. He tends to be more of a bad guy, like in everything he's in. He's just got that face.
Oh, let me just look up a picture of him to see if I know who he is. Like I
Oh,
saw.
you'll look up Ed Harris, but not Tom Savini?
Oh yeah, I do know who he is. I have to be able to spell that other one, man.
Tom Savini. I-N-I.
Yeah,
Sav,
I got it.
S-A-V.
I got it. I don't know who he is. I don't even recognize him.
Oh, okay. Well, he's great. I like him.
His middle name is Vincent, though. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And quite random. Anyway. 6. Doctor Who's 13th Time Lord is Jodie Whittaker.
What? I don't know who that is. Submitted by Danage 888 Tower Television.
Well, I don't know if it necessarily needs to matter to you who Jodie Whittaker is, but the internet is busy either celebrating or imploding or both over the fact that Doctor Who is going to be a woman.
I'm kind of surprised they chose a woman over a black man.
Well, I mean, gotta
Like
pick
the opposite of the 2008 elections.
They could have picked a black woman.
Damn! That would be breaking 2 barriers!
Well, they already broke 2 barriers because this last season, the companion was a black lesbian.
Right.
So,
But
I
that's
mean,
the companion.
sure.
Psh, companions.
Jennifer echoes from the background, fuck with everyone and make them an Indian woman. Just Gal Gadot.
No, dude,
She's not
make her
Indian, she's
Pakistani.
Syrian, but whatever.
Make her
Israeli.
a Pakistani woman. Make her a Pakistani woman.
What'd you say, Nathan? I'm sorry?
I said make her a Pakistani woman.
Sure, okay. Why not? Either way, people are freaking, like, some people are celebrating, like, yeah, women empowerment, this is going to be awesome. I'm glad to see some change come to the show. You know, it's kind of been relatively the same for the last 50 years. Other people are, crying out in, like, anger of, like, you're just doing this for political correctness. Other people are calling it out about how it's just trying to get more attention to the show. Like, you're just doing this to garner attention. Other people are saying, like, there's no way it should ever be a woman, blah, 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 blah.
I say fuck it, why not? Let's also make James Bond a woman.
Sure. Let's make James Bond into Jane Bond, and the Doctor is now, a woman. And
So you can just keep calling her the Doctor.
yeah. And then, yeah. Except people have taken it a little bit too far. Recently, The Sun released an article about how against they were with this, including posting a whole bunch of nude photos of Jodie Whittaker.
The Sun, you said.
God damn it, Nathan! No, stop it.
What?
All of the photos are from previous roles, so I mean, it's not like they're leaked photos. I mean, she is
Oh, nice. So they just probably surfed on Reddit for a bit in uh, for the plot. I think it was called. Watch it for the plot.
Yes, Nathan. You are revealing information that you might not want to reveal to people that you know.
What?
The fact that you know what that is, and that I know what that is.
I just trapped you, motherfucker.
So we're gonna just move on now, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, moving along.
5,
Mystery radio signals have been detected from a red dwarf star just 11 light years away.
This is submitted by Trooper843 to our space.
So,
What's with this Skype thing on me?
because I can't make it go away. I mean, I can try, but if I close
No,
this and
just
then
keep going.
make it bigger, it might go away.
Just keep going.
It's too late. I already tried, but I don't know if it's gonna go away because Skype is the worst. So either way, what's the name of this? The very peculiar pulses have begun to appear from a red dwarf that's 11 light years away. And the reason that it is interesting is because these radio signals are coming from that red dwarf, but not its surrounding planets. Which normally, if something in that area is causing something to bounce off in such a way, then nearby things would do the same. There are current few possibilities of what it could be. The lowest on that list is aliens, by the way.
It could be aliens! Robots from space!
That is not the guess that they're going with. They're
Astro zombies from across the land.
the potentials is that it's emissions similar to a Type 2 solar flare, emissions from another object.
What? Solar flare!
You're the worst. Emissions from another object in the field of view of the star, or they're coming from a high orbit satellite. And a high orbit satellite doesn't mean what like our satellites. Satellites literally just means something that is orbiting around something else. Like we're technically a satellite of the sun, so I mean it could have a little rock that's orbiting around it that causes the signal to be put off. They are mostly banking on one of the first two options, whether it's a solar flare that had been bounced off of the planet, or possibly something else that we just can't see, because there are things that we just don't see that gets in the way that will then cause these types of interference. They are not actually that excited about it, but they are going to do a bunch of research into it and reanalyze the signal in hopes of just solving it so they can move on to more interesting things. Am I supposed to recognize it?
The X-Files.
Oh, I never watched that.
That's pretty good. It's got a very, very strong female lead in the form of Agent Scully.
I believe you. Still haven't watched it. Probably never. Probably never will.
God, David Duchovny's goddamn jam.
Recognize the name. Don't actually know who it is.
4,
Game of Thrones premiere crashes HBO website.
This was submitted by Neil Poonhandler to our televisor.
They were not prepared for the number of people that were going to sign into the
Brace
game,
yourself.
to the website to be able to
Winter's
watch.
coming.
And they had a lot of upset people.
You don't say.
How dare you interrupt my Game of Thrones or deny me access for all of like an hour? I need it now. Need it in my bloodstream.
Where are my dragons?
So, how was it, Nathan?
Oh God, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Kind of, all right, so like, all right, you guys ready for some spoilers?
Don't spoil anything, Nathan.
I'm just gonna spoil one minor thing.
No,
and
you
it's
fucking aren't.
Not a serious thing.
No.
And in fact, like,
no, Nathan.
it's not
No,
anything
I don't
related
care.
to the storyline.
No, stop it. Doesn't
Ed
matter.
Sheeran's in it.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
But it was really like he popped up, and it was really like oh.
That's not even a spoiler. Ed Sheeran does a
Not
cameo.
because it's Ed Sheeran. It's just like it felt like a juxtaposition. He felt like he shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, well, they're probably just trying to garner even more attention to a show that literally doesn't need it.
He's got too red of hair. They should have made him a Northman, or at least the Riverlands.
Whatever.
Auburn hair.
But yeah, but otherwise it was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I heard.
mean,
I have heard
feel
that
like-
the beginning
I feel
and the
like it
end were awesome.
Needed more oomph to it.
Well,
kinda slow.
you'll get some in like 6 days,
Yeah.
and then more in 6 days, and then like 5 more times after that, and then you'll be waiting a year and a half or 2.
That's fine. I'd do that.
So, be happy with that.
Mhm.
I mean, because there's one season after this one. And we'll see if they actually do that whole rumor of each episode as a feature length. That'd be crazy.
I would have the biggest tent pitched in my pants.
Was this episode longer as well? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think by the end of it, we had it like clocked at an hour and 3 minutes.
damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but that was, I think, with the end title sequence, the fucking credits.
Sure. So for the previous seasons, have they released director's cuts of those yet?
I don't think so.
Because that's going to be even scarier.
I would shit and piss bricks repeatedly over and over again.
Like, if each of the season 8 episodes are feature length to where they're at least 81 minutes, probably more realistically about 90.
I feel like the director's cut would be really awkward to have, because in like, all right, I can understand a director's cut in a movie. Or a movie trilogy, because it's the same director.
Sure.
Or at least it tends to be.
Mm-hmm.
When you do director's cuts for episodes, it sometimes will ruin continuity.
Well,
because things get cut.
right. But, I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to complain if they get more.
I mean, sure.
And
We're not
I mean,
complaining.
when I say director's cut, I mean it might end up being that not each director makes their own director cut for the episode they directed. Just someone might go through and just add more video footage in, and then they'll call it a director's
They
cut.
call it an extended cut.
Oh, sure, whatever.
There's different names for these, Michael.
I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Wow.
They
Learn
just
to talk.
they just want money, and they will get plenty of it.
3,
Miley Cyrus felt sexualized while twerking during the 2013 MTV VMA performance.
This is submitted by Nay, I'm hitting a long one, to R, not the onion.
Hey, Nathan. Nathan.
What?
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
No, she's actually serious. So, she
I mean, it's no place for us to tell her whether she did or didn't feel sexualized.
right. She basically, like, how do I want to sum this up? So basically she said that she was starting to just do what was expected of her because she didn't want to show up to photo shoots and be the girl that wouldn't do what they needed her to do so that they, you know, I mean, when you make a lot of money and you have a lot of fame, you'll do a lot of stupid shit to keep it.
Yeah.
And she basically is like, that's kind of where I was. And since then, she has changed her image quite a bit. She dresses much more wholesome, has reverted a lot closer back to her more country-related style music, and has, you know, tried to not be the weird, crazy sex icon, but not in a good way, more of like in a crazy way and what the hell are you doing type way.
Yeah, not in like the Betty Boop way.
She goes, you know, and then she brought out a very fair criticism of that, you know, I was surprised that people were so shocked by some of the things I did, because to me, it would be more shocking that when I was 11 or 12, I was put in full hair and makeup, a wig, and then was told to tell people what to wear by a group of really old dudes.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a really fair comparison. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Since then, though, she has gotten back into her relationship with Australian actor Liam Hemsworth, and they have gotten engaged for a second time, and she has an album about to be released.
I only have one problem with everything that she's had after coming out of that kind of phase.
What's that?
She quit marijuana, which I don't have a problem with.
Sure.
But she's blaming a lot of her problems on the marijuana, and I just have a huge problem with that.
I don't think, like, I really think that fame and fortune really does go to your head, and that was probably a lot bigger piece of it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely that. I do not feel like marijuana was the reason.
Does it-
Also, she said that no one else has smoked more marijuana than her, and I'm like, bruh.
That's a dirty lie. Also,
Snoop Dogg
is
just
nonstop all day long.
I don't think he ever comes down.
No, of course he doesn't.
I don't think he's ever sober, unless if you smoke so much weed that you're just high all the time. Does that then become sobriety?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
Does
man,
it in any
this is
way
a
make you
shout.
more like susceptible to anything?
What about oh god, Willie Nelson?
I think Snoop still got him beat, dude.
Do you? I think Willie Nelson's older than Snoop.
He is older, but I think Snoop smokes more.
I can see that.
'Cause,
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
like, tell me the last time that in an hour period you didn't see Snoop with a blunt. I mean, like, most of the time when you see him on live TV now, he has
he's got
one.
it. He at least has it tucked behind his ear.
Yeah.
No one fucking calls him on that, and it's the best.
Who's gonna?
I don't know. He's fucking Snoop Dogg.
Also, people are more excited to have him around because it means that they get to say Snoop Dogg was somewhere, which gets them more attention.
Right. Snoop Dogg's so popular, and just he's family friendly, even though he's never explicitly been family friendly.
Sure. That's one way to look at it.
Everyone loves Snoop Dogg, even though he raps about,
Killing people?
Snoop Dogg shit.
Major tech firms urge United States to retain net neutrality rules.
Hey, this was submitted by Claire Zero to our news.
We are.
Claire, Carol, Cheryl, Charlene.
I'll take it. So we are back on this one. Net neutrality. Also, real quick, one thing is you should care about it. I'd advise looking it up, getting yourself woke, educated, informed, whatever you would like to call it.
Woke.
Because it's very important. But now a group representing major technology firms such as Alphabet, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, Twitter, and Snap Incorporated, as well as several other large technological companies, have come together with the issuance of basically telling the FCC, don't you dare get rid of net neutrality.
They're saying you can go FCC yourself.
The only people that are truly advocating for it are AT&T, Comcast, Charter Communications, Verizon, and that's about it. So the people who would, have control over the largest stake of the internet and would be able to do whatever the hell they wanted with it, including charge you,
They're
throttle
not
you.
even remotely trying to be like, no, we're not doing it, guys.
Well, the funny thing is like Comcast put out a promotion that was like, we support net neutrality. We promise we won't throttle you. And it's like, it's not just about throttling people. It's about all the other shit too. Like, yeah, you could make that promise, but go, well, we won't throttle your speed, but you're not allowed to access these websites because we said so. Then we're not throttling your speed. We're just denying you access.
I guess it's slightly different.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, and they have lobbied like $574 billion towards trying to get net neutrality overturned. There is no way that they are in favor of it if they want it to be gotten rid of to the point that, like, they would not lobby that much money towards it if they didn't believe they could make a profit from its removal.
Yeah, that's really scumbaggy. you know?
So just keep an eye out on it and do what you can to support it.
Yeah,
Hey.
definitely.
Haha. 1. Healthcare study ranks Australia the second best in developed world. United States comes in last.
This is submitted by RP247 to Our World News. All right, to be fair, in Australia, everything's trying to kill you. They kind of need that.
It's true. But they're only second. The number one is actually the United Kingdom's National Health Service as the best system overall, based on, the amount that you pay both for coverage and out of pocket, as well as how quickly you get seen and the level of treatment that you are given. The United States comes in at the very bottom of that. This is a study of only 11 different nations based on their healthcare models. The best, like I said, being the United Kingdom, followed by Australia, then the Netherlands, and Norway and New Zealand sharing fourth place. The United States performs relatively poor on population health outcomes such as infant mortality and life expectancy.
With Texas being like the place with the highest amount of infant death, or the infant mortality rate in a first world country?
Yeah. And the reason that it's even worse, though, is because the United States spends more than twice as much as even the second most expensive country. And we have the worst coverage. We have the worst services. We have you pay the most out of your own pocket.
It's so fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like we're getting swindled, boys.
6 is Switzerland, 7 is Sweden, 8 is Germany, 9 is Canada, and 10 is France.
Canada.
Yep.
Man, it's crazy. Norwegia is where it's at, apparently. Tied for fourth.
No, Netherlands and New Zealand.
Oh, I thought Norwegia was up there.
Norwegia is 5th.
There, whatever. Close.
Yeah. So our healthcare sucks.
Yeah.
And like, luckily, Obamacare did do a lot for a lot of people, but it didn't necessarily solve the problem that is American healthcare. It just put a very sad bandage on it, and Trump Care just kind of want to rips that off and not put a bandage on it at all, and just kind of let it bleed openly. So
I have a lot of choice words about this.
yeah, okay, let's hear 'em.
But I think I can sum it up.
Okay.
Please help.
Yeah, that's fair. So hey Nathan,
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
what did you care about in the last 24 hours?
Game of Thrones, really.
I mean, not 24, 72 hours.
The new set for Eternal dropped, and I've done nothing but play a lot of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Clockroaches are live, boys. I feel like Black Iron Manacles is the way to go.
Did that change draft at all?
Kind of. Now it's 1 pack Empty Throne, 1 pack Omens of the Past.
Okay.
And then Draft and Gauntlet, or not Draft, Forge and Gauntlet they're reset, so you can get ranked up chest rewards for those.
Oh, okay.
So I've been doing that. They changed the way foils look, and now they have like an embossed border, and it's like really good looking.
Cool.
So it makes me really sad I've ever, destroyed any of my foils.
That's fair.
I don't know, just it's looking really solid, and they started doing advertising, and now it's out for iPhones.
Dude, why didn't you tell me sooner?
I just kind of found out actually today that it was up for iPhones.
Oh, Jesus, I'm going there right fucking now.
There's a lot really cool shit, and the game's laughably free to play. Like, I've only spent $3 on it, and I've already built the tier 1 deck right now, which is over roaches.
Can confirm. If you guys are looking for a nice, good, free card game to play that's not Hearthstone, because Hearthstone's very not free, play Eternal. It's a good game.
There's an article recently on like the top 5 best free to play card games, and Hearthstone was like 3. There's like 4 actually.
I was like, I'm amazed it was even that high. Like, I bet Faria is up there.
It was like Duelist, Hearthstone, Faria, Eternal, and then number 1 was Gwent.
Gwent, yeah. Gwent's really player friendly. Although Gwent pisses me off because there's constantly advertisements for it on my phone, and you can't get it on your phone. It's only Windows 10 and Xbox. And like,
You want to know something funny about Gwent?
what?
It is made by Direwolf Digital.
Which are the people that make Eternal.
Yep.
Yep.
So on that list, 1 and 2 were made by Direwolf Digital. So
Good job, peeps. This one. I want to make some people aware of something that they might not realize is a very big concern. And
guys, get yourselves checked. You never know when you got the
clap, really, Nathan? You're the worst. No, it's a data backup and data recovery. If you have important files of any sort, whether it's audio files, family pictures, if you do any level of graphic design work, audio work, if you do anything that is important on the computer that isn't play a video game or watch YouTube, make sure you have good data backups.
Please, for the love of God, make sure you have good data backups.
And then tell you a quick little story about why this is so important.
I lost my script for pterodactyls.
I did not have good data backups. I kept all of my stuff on one single external hard drive. Even though I own 2, both of which, one that is 2 terabytes that held everything, and the other which is 4, which was literally sitting there empty. I kept everything on the 2 terabyte one, and that was 6 years old as of, I don't know, some time ago. And here's the situation that arose. 5 years old, whatever. Either way. It started to die, and to the point that I couldn't get files off of it. The computer couldn't read it, and I needed those severely bad. All of my graphics design work that I've ever done, which includes like the logo for the show, logo for my past shows, all of like the overlay stuff as you guys watch the video, I've done work for like some local organizations and stuff like that. Anything like that was all on there. And that stuff is either unable to be recreated or would be extremely tenuous to recreate. In addition, all of our backups for the show, the presentation for the live feed was also on there, as well as tons and tons of my creative work that I've done, such as like short stories that I've written, D&D stuff that I've made. All of that is very difficult to reproduce because you create it in the creative moment, and then after that it's gone. Well, I thought it was just gone. And so I started looking up data recovery services. And if you like, oh, I'll just get it recovered, be warned just how expensive that is.
It's fucking ridiculous how expensive.
Bare minimum, if nothing is wrong with the drive and they can just plug in their systems and force it to pull the files off, it is $300. If anything is wrong with the drive in any way, it'll go from $500 to $1,500 to get your data off of it.
Pass.
Yeah, that was my thought exactly. Luckily, I was able to get the drive to work long enough for me to get all of my important stuff off of it, thankfully. Oh my god, because I would have just cried otherwise. But be aware of that your computer is not indestructible, your drives are not indestructible, they can get corrupted.
Same with you, you're not indestructible.
Hey Nathan, you should take your own advice in that regard.
I know, I am.
So make sure you have a backup. You can buy like a 1 terabyte external hard drive now for like $40. Go buy one, back up your important pictures. Make sure you have 2 copies in 2 different places of anything that's important. If you aren't sure how to keep up on that, just Google what is called a differential backup. And what that does is you have all your files on one spot and all your files in another. And when you do a differential backup, it looks at what is different between the 2 of them and makes them match. It doesn't delete anything. It just copies and adjusts everything so that anything that was different from then to now is changed. So I highly recommend everyone looking into making sure you have proper backups, whether it's of family photos, things that you've written, things you've created, songs that you've sang, anything at all. If it is important to you and you would be sad if it is lost, spend the 30 minutes and the $40 to save yourself the loss.
Decades of pain.
Yeah, basically, yeah. All right. Anyway, with that, I'm ready to go. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Sweet. Jennifer's cooking halibut, and it smells delicious right now. Okay, anyway. So, everybody, if you would like to help support our show, one, thank you for even considering to do so, and the best place to do it is financially by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. If you can lend us $1 a month, $5 a month, and that gives you 16 to 18 episodes, so you're paying all of 20 cents an episode, that would help us immensely, and it really helps the show get paid for, helps the show run, because this is not a free program. Well, it's free for you. It is not free for us. There's things that we have to pay to make it happen.
Yeah.
So if you would do that, we would be incredibly grateful. Otherwise, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of those are at iReaditCast. You can also find the show on Facebook and YouTube if you want the video versions. We do go live on Facebook at 6 p.m. Alaska time. That's 7 p.m. West Coast and 10 p.m. East Coast. And, of course, you can also find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Basically anywhere that you can find a podcast, you should be able to download it. If you find one where you can't, let me know. Otherwise, you can follow me on social media at Schwahn Michael, and Nathan is at Bimmenstein. If you would like to send us an email, whether it's feedback
unless it's on Steam. If you guys want to play Steam games with me, I'm Nearly Headless Nate.
Yeah. If you want to send us feedback or you have a story that you'd like us to talk about, even if it's not a recent one, please send it to our email inbox, which is feedback.ireadit@gmail.com, or you can call and leave us a voice message at 508-738-2278. And that is it, everybody. That is your 323rd dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody,
Don't get eliminated!
have a good day, everyone.
Bye.